Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are in part 8 of the planner walkthrough series, and this one came as a recommendation from a dear friend, and I really wanted to do a proper walkthrough of this planner. This is Chaarpai, and they generally make undated planners, but they've been getting great reviews, and I thought let's check it out together and see all the great features that this planner has to offer. So the main key point of this planner is that it has 2 pages per day. I have not seen any planner that offers 2 pages per day, and I'm very excited to check that out. So it's in blue and it's called My Organized Chaos. It is an undated daily planner. It is priced at rupees 1390. Right now it's 25% off. Otherwise it is at rupees 1854. You can personalize your name for an added 250 rupees, and you can add a gift message for an added 200 rupees. They also give you all the stuff that you can buy together, but let's take a look at what the planner is like. I like the blue, and I also like how minimal, and it just looks like no frills, basic, only functional, like a proper planner. Let's see. Tells you where you can personalize your name. They give you testimonials. Okay, so that's interesting. You get a weekly overview section where you can basically write down Monday through Sunday what events maybe, or one or two important, say, meetings or deadlines that you might have. Then you have a space for top 3 goals. You also have an important to-do list, so that will be aside from what you have to put in every single day of the week. And then you get a habit and exercise tracker, which is pretty cool that you get it at a weekly level, and I think this is the way that it is most effective. So you can write down 6 habits, and you have these grids Monday through Sunday to put a tick or cross against depending on whether you have done that habit. Looks like at least the goals and the to-do list section has enough space. The weekly overview part looks like you can add mostly 1 or maybe 2 main agenda items for each particular day, and that's about it. But it is completely undated, right? So you can also write down week of which month and year you're in. And then you get the menu planner, which is a very nice addition. So you have Monday through Sunday breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you also have a market list, which is basically the groceries. And this is also very nicely laid out. I love it when the planner brands themselves will give you a filled out spread just to show you what it looks like. Then you have a place for reflection and growth, and here you are having something to look forward to this week, and you can write down. There are 4 lines, so a quick journaling session, it's pretty good for that. Then you also have an expense tracker, and here you have like 5 items, but this is interesting because there are basically 5 categories, and then again you have grids from Monday through Sunday. So you write down the amount for each category, and this way you not only get to see a total against each category, you also get to see a total against each day. So if you have a particular high spend day, then that's something that you will be able to kind of double click into and see what was happening that day. It's a very interesting way of doing this. I've actually never seen this kind of an expense tracker laid out, so very cool. Then we come to the daily pages, and this is what your 2 pages per day look like. So you have a place for morning thoughts. It gives you 3 lines. You can circle out what day of the week you're in, and you can also write down what exactly the date is that day. You get an hourly schedule and today's to-do lists separately, and the to-do list is broken down into work and personal. So this is very good because even the schedule starts from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Most of everybody's working hours, personal routine, etc., everything would be covered in that time. You get enough place to write down work and personal to-dos, and I like that for somebody who might be using only one planner, having 2 pages per day is actually a great idea, and this will be where you put everything in one place. So the person who recommended this to me would only like to use one notebook for their entire system, and something like this really works well for her. Then you have calls, emails and appointments, and you also have a place to note down what you ate for breakfast, lunch and dinner. This is not the planning part because that you have done in the weekly area. This is just what you actually managed to eat. This is also a good way to stick to your diet, because then you can kind of match the two and see where you have wavered from what you had planned and why were you not able to stick to your plan. So this is a lot of good data that you can gather to delve deeper into the whys of some of the things that we do. Then you have this area which looks especially for journaling, and they've written like a random excerpt, but this place looks like it's for anything like notes and journaling or reminders or whatever you want to, but quite a bit of free space to basically use as you please. At the bottom of that, you have rate your day, so you can have okay, good, or awesome. And I like that there's no place to write bad. So however you want to, treat this is a very optimistic approach of looking at your day. The worst it can be is okay, so that's fun. And you have for better tomorrow, what are you going to do? There are 3 check boxes, which is exercise, guilt-free relaxation, and meditation. So these things, like, it's great if it's part of your everyday goal. I mean, if it's not, you might want to repurpose this, but if it is, then it's already built in, so you don't have to, even if you're tracking this as a habit, you don't have to track it in the weekly tracker every day. It's just exercise and you check off the box and it's done. I was thinking for a planner with 2 pages per day, it will be excessive, but the way it is laid out, it gives just the right amount of structure, and this free notes page in every day is actually a very thoughtful choice. Here they've just given an unfilled version to take a look at, and another very cool thing is that this is for 13 weeks only. So this is a book for a quarter. It says 90 days from now you will thank yourself for starting, and this is kind of where you do kind of a declaration that, okay, I'm going to commit, I'm going to focus my energy, this is what I'm going to do for the next 90 days. Then you get to your goal setting pages. So you have the first goal, what are you going to do? They also give you how do you set a goal, then what is your goal and why is that your goal, what is the deadline of your goal, what will you do in the next week, in the next month, and in the next blank. So you can fill in year or whatever you want to write for that. But because this is only 13 weeks, so you have 3 months effectively for this entire planner. And then it says, like, if you set a goal, how would you achieve it in 13 weeks? So it is typically following the 12-week year process, where you set a goal, focus on it for 90 days, achieve that ideally, and move on to the next goal. So this is very good. Then you have this blank pages, and then at the end you get a 4 weeks review where you have to answer what are the things that you have accomplished, how do you feel about your progress, what are the tasks to accomplish in the next 4 weeks, and what are the major challenges for the next 4 weeks. And similarly, you would have 8 and 12 weeks review as well, which is very nice, because first you acknowledge that, okay, hey, this much I have actually done in the last 4 weeks. And then moving forward, you are looking at what can be my obstacles, how can I already account for the fact, how can I try to deal with the problems that I might be facing. So very, very nice, very thoughtful, and a very interesting way of having a planner. I've seen 12-week planners before, but they have not been this thorough, and this like, the layout is actually a very interesting layout. If you are the kind of person who is trying to focus on a couple of goals for 90 days, I would strongly encourage you to get your hands on this planner and let me know how you like it. I know this was being like promoted as like a great undated planner. I think it is a brilliant goal planner. Every day you anyway have your to-do list, etc. So you don't have to move into a different notebook for your daily things and a different notebook for your goal tracking. Everything is in one place. And if you have used Chaarpai planners before, let me know in the comments how you like them. I will see you in the next one. Bye.